Hi, Mary. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and thanks so much for linking in. So, I wanted to talk with you about a follow up article, if you're interested, to your article on Get Ready for the 220-page voter guide in California. Um, so, in 2015, we had an election here in San Francisco, and we had a voter guide that was, incredibly long and boring. So, I sat around with a couple of, developers, and I thought, you know, I wonder why someone hasn't, gone up and created, one of these voter guides online and made it more of a network where the candidates build their own profiles like online dating or LinkedIn or Facebook. And, they have plenty of profiles out there. They could build their own profile, enter the races. We voters could then hear them out, and it would be like this ongoing debate where they could go back and forth, and it could all be in our ballot so that I'm not following races that I don't have to vote on, and that I am accessing races that I do need to vote on that I would otherwise never be able to hear from, sort of like the Board of Education and school board races and even city council races. So we decided to build it, and this is what it is. This is Win My Vote. Voters are free. They sign up with just an email address or social media account. They put their zip code in. The zip code will place you in specific voting districts. And if there's any overlap or conflict, which there are in about 5 or 10% of the time, we have links there on the site so that you can find your correct district. And it's real, it's pretty simple. So with that, we can give you a sample ballot that starts at the national level and goes down to the state level, and then congressional districts, and then state senate and state assembly districts, and then into the county districts and even board of supervisors, city council, all the way down to school board races. And as a voter, I can click on the candidate's profile, and I can learn all about the candidate. I can see some basic information. I can click on a bio and see more in-depth information. I can listen to the candidate.
I've always been familiar with poverty and have always done what I could to alleviate.
And I can see the candidate's latest tweets here. I can also see issue statements that the candidate has made. So I can click on this.
I don't know if any of you've had a terrible illness, and you know how hard that is, and then you know what the impact that.
And I can also go up here and see groups and organizations that have endorsed this candidate, and I can listen to what they have to say.
Hi, this is Randy Weingarten. As many of you know, your elected representative.
And I can say great, and if I decide to favorite that candidate, I can favorite the candidate here, or I can also just go through and give the other candidates a couple of minutes each and listen to those candidates and what they have to say.
I would feel terrible if Donald Trump gets elected, and terrible if Hillary Clinton gets elected. Donald Trump says despicable things, but Hillary Clinton has a terrifying track record.
And let's say if I then say, oh, I like Cornel West, let me hear what he has to say about her.
You are endorsing Dr. Jill Stein. You were a surrogate for Bernie Sanders.
And I can listen to that, and then I can say, great. So let's say if I decide to favorite Jill Stein here, that's who I'm going to vote for. When I go back to my ballot, you can see here that her nameplate is green. I can easily see that I'm going to vote for her. And I can even see a percentage here of favorites that are on this California ballot, so I can have a good idea of how she's doing in the race. And then I can go down and I can finish my ballot. I can start going down and looking at the different candidates. I can also click here and see the propositions and the measures. So let's say, and this is from before my last demo, sorry about that, I didn't change it back. That should always default to undecided because I'm just undecided. This would be a summary, and I can end up reading more about it. I can also watch a little, Prop 55 in 1 minute.
Prop 55 in 1 minute, taxes for education. 4 years ago, a tax on the wealthy was passed to help fund education. It was supposed to...
And I can say great, and then again I can look at some groups and organizations that are voting yes and some groups and organizations that are voting no, and then I can make my decision. And let's say I decide to say no on Proposition 55. I click here, and I can now go back to my ballot, and I'll see that it's nice and prominent there, so that when I access this on my phone or my tablet, on my way to the polling place or whatever, I can access it really easy and see which way I'm voting. And here in San Francisco, we not only, California has the 17, we also have, 25 measures that we need to go through here in San Francisco. So that's it. That's the idea of the site, and would love to talk with you about it. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.